Hello everyone. I will be speaking today about a very different topic, a topic which I felt deserved a separate discussion. This is related to the money in the bank account. When I speak to people and I check with them in terms of how much money do they have in their bank account, at times I get amazed that people have lakhs of rupees in the bank account just sitting in the bank account idle, wherein we are getting returns much lower than the inflation, because this money is just earning you the saving bank rate returns, and that is also taxable. So in the sense, we are losing money. So what I need to talk to you today is about the 5 reasons which I thought why we should not have so much of money lying in the bank account. Number 1 reason is related to the negative returns. As I mentioned earlier, this is the money which is getting us negative returns, and it's not beating inflation. So why not let the money work for you while you are sleeping? So we should always be investing in products which at least match inflation, and better, it beats inflation. The second reason why we should not have money lying idle in the bank account is because a lot of people are by nature very good people, and they find it very difficult to refuse to people when they approach them for money, because they really want to help them out and they are not able to say no. In certain cases they want to say no because they know that the past experience of the person has not been very good in terms of repaying the money, but still they are not able to do that. And there are a lot of people who really take advantage of such good people, and then they continue to borrow money. And then what happens is the good-hearted person suffers, because then they find it very difficult to accumulate money for their own goals. So I would say this is one of the big reasons, why we should not have money, because what happens is the neighbors and the friends and relatives, they get to know that here is a person who would always have money in their bank account, and they know that when they need money, they can simply approach this person and they will be able to get the money they need. The third reason why we should not have money in the bank account is at times we find it very difficult to control our urge, and we end up spending money more for our wants and luxuries rather than the needs. When we know that there is money in the bank account, we end up spending because we want to buy the latest gadget in the market, or we want to go for a lot of vacations, and then the money just gets spent and we are not able to control our urges there. And that way we have not done any kind of investments or any planning for the future. Coming to speak about the future, this is the 4th reason why we should not have money into the bank account, because then we really don't end up doing our planning or our investment for our future needs, and because then we are just living for the day, and by the time we realize it, this becomes then too late for the catch, and we are really not taken the power of compounding to our advantage. Finally, the last reason why we should not have a lot of money in the bank is because then you're taking a very concentrated risk, and there are a lot of stories about how people have got cheated through internet frauds or by phishing or wishing of the money, and that way you lose your money to the fraudsters. So it's always a good strategy not to have the entire money in the bank account, but rather if it is invested across different places, that way then the money is really not subject to that risk for the entire amount there. So these would be the 5 reasons which I would say are very important, which should really determine why we should not have a lot of money into the bank account. So what we need to do about it, this is something which I've also spoken in the past, that's related to the pay yourself first. So what we do is, as soon as we get the income into our bank account by way of salaries or any other income for that matter, that's when we decide how much of money do we really want to keep for ourselves by way of investments there, and then it is the rest of the money which then we utilize for our various expenses. I know a lot of people keep doing about the equation that income minus the expenses is the savings, and what they say is that let me spend the money for the expenses and then whatever money is remaining I will save. And the reality is that that really does not happen, because a lot of people end up living paycheck to paycheck, and that's when this gets postponed to the following month and then to the following month. What I would suggest is that we simply reverse the education, and what we do is we get the money, we first pay ourselves, and that's the money for our investments, and then whatever is the remaining money we utilize for our expenses. And generally it is the human behavior that when we know that less money is available, we adjust towards it. I have made this very simple by putting up a free toolkit on my website. I am providing the link below. I have also mentioned about this in the past. You can go ahead and download that free toolkit. You will have all the various heads in terms of our income and expenses, and it will really help you in terms of structuring your thoughts, and that way then you can get started if you have not already started with your investments. So thanks a lot for listening to me, and if you do like my channel, subscribe to it. Thank you very much. Bye.